Good afternoon, everyone. Before getting started, I would like to provide you some technical information regarding the interpretation and live streaming. And we have interpretation in 3 languages, Turkish, English, and Spanish. And there are also live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter accounts of TBD, TOBB, and EUROCHAMBRES. You may find the link above your screen on those social media accounts to switch the language between English and Turkish. Good afternoon again. Vice President of EUROCHAMBERS and President of TOBB, Mr. Rıfat Sarcıklıoğlu, EUROCHAMBERS Women Entrepreneurs Network President Marta Schulz, Directorate General for Financial Cooperation and Project Implementation, Mr. Bülent Özcan, Head of the EU Delegation to Turkey, Ambassador Nikolaus Maya Landrut, TOBB Women Entrepreneurs Council President Ms. Nurten Öztürk, and dear distinguished participants. It's a great pleasure to welcome you today to the TBD Women Entrepreneurs Online Forum. Thank you for joining us today. And this forum is organized by the Turkey EU Business Dialogue Project. And I would like to briefly inform you about the TBD project, which is supported by the European Union and co-financed by TOBB. And chambers both in Turkey and in the EU have an important role to play in fostering economic cooperation. And based on the strategic priorities of and the long-term collaboration between EUROCHAMBERS and TOBB, today we have been implementing Turkey Business EU Business Dialogue Project as the 5th phase of the Chambers and Business Dialogue, with a wide range of activities and chamber partnership grant schemes since 2001. And today, as Turkey EU Business Dialogue Project, we aim at strengthening mutual knowledge dialogue and long-term cooperation between Turkish chambers and their counterparts in the EU, thus promoting the integration of the EU and Turkish business communities. And Turkey EU Business Dialogue Project has been implemented by EUROCHAMBERS in close cooperation with TOBB. And during this implementation period, chambers from both Turkey and the European Union are engaging in partnerships, dialogues, capacity building with over 100 activities, including high-level business dialogues, SME surveys, SME workshops, study visits, capacity, academies, and audits, and much more. And today we are organizing Women Entrepreneurs Forum within the framework of TBD capacity building activities. And in addition to today's opening session, our forum will continue with 4 engaging and interactive thematic sessions with high-level speakers. But since we are late and unfortunately one of our speakers needs to leave a bit early, I will give more detailed information about the session at the end. But the forum will offer opportunities to interact with European and Turkish women entrepreneurs, policymakers, international financial institutions such as World Bank, EIB, IFC, EBRD, and European and Turkish Chambers and Business Support Organization as well. And I'm delighted to share with you that we have received around 720 registrations from 31 countries, not only Turkey and Europe, but also worldwide. So that's a great pleasure and honor for us and for my team. Just a little reminder before we get started, if you have any questions during the speech, please type them into the chat box in your Zoom control panel down, and or comment parts of the other social media accounts with your name, institution, and also to whom you are directing your questions, please, if you have any specific name in your mind. And then we will have time for the questions at the end. Now, without any delay, we will turn the time over to our first keynote speaker. Unfortunately, EUROCHAMBERS Women Entrepreneurs Network President Marta Schulz needs to leave earlier. So we will start with her remarks and then continue with other panelists. But again, and the floor is yours,
Yes, thank you so much for letting me be the first to give my statement, because I unfortunately have to leave the event earlier at short notice. Fortunately, everyone here is flexible enough to react. Honorable Ambassador Maya Landrut, dear President of the Turkish Chamber, dear Rifat, dear Director General Öktan, dear colleague Öztürk, it is with pleasure that I join for this event today. Dear participants from all over Europe and Turkey, dear members of the EUROCHAMBERS Women Network, I'm really looking forward to our discussions. The TEBD, the Turkey EU Business Dialogue Project, is a marvelous example of how entrepreneurs need to collaborate and how we need more and more to integrate the business environment in order to see the economy prosper in all our countries. I'm honored to be here and represent the Women Network of the European Chamber of Commerce, the EuroChamber Women Network. We need more events like this. Do you need our efforts for more inclusive business environment, but also to celebrate the unique capacity of women to take on board new challenges and adapt it in an even changing business environment? Why a European Business Women Network? Also, women constitute 52% of the total European population. They represent only 34% of the EU self-employed and 30% of the startup entrepreneurs. With the network's activities, we want to develop a more woman-friendly business environment, assisting female entrepreneurs on their entrepreneurship path, helping women to break the glass ceiling and make it possible for them to advance their professional careers. And all of this while embracing the roles of mothers, sisters, and friends. Our main areas of activities are identify challenges that women entrepreneurs face and develop concrete suggestions how to overcome them. Share success stories of women entrepreneurs, discuss relevant policy developments, exchange of best practices, and also for networking. Times are difficult for us and our members. There are many questions from women entrepreneurs about the COVID-19 crisis. Everything has changed for me in the last few months. The crisis has hit tourism extremely, and tourism is my core business. Turkish people surely know what I'm talking about. Corona surely is fact that we have to deal with in future, and that will influence our work for the coming years. Women entrepreneurs have been strongly impacted by the current crisis. Many among them manage SMEs, and we all know that SMEs are paying a big price for the pandemic. In order to assess the situation and suggest to the competent authorities what measures women entrepreneurs need to recover from the current crisis, we, as EuroChamber Women Network, will launch a survey in December to analyze in detail how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted women entrepreneurs all across Europe. The results of the study will complement our recent General Women Entrepreneurs Study and will surely have an impact on our priorities for the coming years. During this forum, I would also like to speak about financing. It is unacceptable that still today women do not have the same financial credibility of men. We need to make sure that a successful business idea has the same potential to be financed and sustained regardless of the gender the entrepreneurs belong to. Financing was one of the major problems we identified in our last European-wide survey. Let me talk to you about this survey. The report of the Women Entrepreneur Study is based on 1,500 responses from across Europe, many of them also from Turkey. It was published in July this year and emphasizes the needs for effective policy initiative to untap the full potential of female entrepreneurship at a time when this is needed more than ever. We discussed preliminary survey results at our network meeting in Rome in October last year, on the fringes of EuroChamber Economic Forum. The network members went more in detail regarding the identified issues and come up with ideas for solving them. Ideas that could be transformed into action points for the network. The full analysis of the survey results show us three main issues to be addressed that are the basis for our further actions. First, access to finance. The participants of the Rome meeting stated that drafting a business plan and selling their idea to finance providers were the biggest hurdles for them. The suggestions was made to look into the provision of business plan tools and guidance and the development of female marketing approaches as possible solutions. Second, reconciliation of family and professional life. During the Rome meeting, this point led to a lively debate leading to the perception of women in society and traditional role patterns. While childcare provisions and parental leave are being dealt with at national or local level, a topic for the network could be the promotion of smart work and successful role models, and the exchange of experiences between countries or even regions. Third, women in leadership positions. The last issue that the network discussed in Rome were measures to encourage women to take up leader positions. Training and mentoring schemes were quoted crucial elements in moving forward, as well as being able to refer the role models. But, of course, there are many other demands. When starting up and running a business, women face more difficulties than men. EWN members identified additional challenges hampering the development of women entrepreneurship. The report with these findings can be found on the EuroChamber homepage. That is why we, as the European Women Network, call on the European Commission to work with the Chamber Network to develop business plan tools and guidance on access to finance, to facilitate exchanges of approach between countries on work-life balance solutions, and to invest in extensive cross-border trainings and mentoring schemes for current and would-be female entrepreneurs. For me personally, two other aspects related to female entrepreneurship are important. First, I think we need to educate entrepreneurship. Economic and financial educations must become a fixed component of general education, especially for young women. And there has to be a focus on the development of digital skills. Also, Corona has shown that we cannot do without a good online performance. And we need more women in the Chamber of Commerce so that we can have our voices heard. As functionaries at local, national, and of course at the European level, I would be delighted to see more female colleagues at European level, and I call on you to cooperate and work with us in the European Women Network. What also can chambers do? Chambers of Commerce and Industry have various initiatives in place to support women entrepreneurship. Successful initiatives are collected and promoted in order to increase their visibility and encourage the development of similar activities in other countries. That is what the EWN is also for, helping each other with the exchange of best practices. My presence here and the presence of my counterpart in the Turkish Chamber, Mrs. Öztürk, attest the engagement of chambers in developing a business environment which must be more inclusive and take into account the needs and the concerns of half of the business players onto the market. You will hear tomorrow some experiences of women entrepreneurs, what challenges they had to face when creating their enterprise, what needs they have in order to see their businesses prosper. My invitation to all of you is to listen very carefully. Women are a wonderful example for resilience and dedication, and we can learn a lot from them, especially in this period. I wish the organizers all the success they deserve with the marvelous event, and I thank you much for having me given the opportunity to address you all today. Thank you for the honor to be on your panel. Thank you so much, Tarifa.
Thank you very much, Ms. President Marta Schulz. And now we will lend ear to the distinguished words of the President, Vice President of EUROCHAMBERS and TOBB President, Mr. Rifat Sarcıklıoğlu. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear friend Marta, Sayın Bülent Özcan, and Nurten Öztürk hanımefendi. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of the Union of Chambers and comment the exchange of Turkey and EuroChambers. This afternoon, we would like to talk about the women entrepreneurship and the role of the chambers in supporting the women entrepreneurs. During the three-day conference, we will share best practices from Turkey as well as from the EU member countries. Our initial plan was to host a study visit on the women entrepreneurship from the EU member countries to Turkey. However, the conditions of today have forced us to have this event as virtual conference. So let me start by expressing how grateful I am for the cooperation with EuroChambers in many areas, including the EU-Turkey Business Dialogue Project. The CEO of EuroChambers, Ben, and his project team, coordinated by Oya, have been doing a great job. And I would like to thank the European Commission for the financial support offered to the projects targeting dialogue between Turkey and the EU. I would like also to thank Ambassador for being with us for this event. Of course, I would like to thank my dear friend Marta Schulz for leading the women entrepreneurship within EuroChambers. As TOBB, we have always supported this initiative within EuroChambers. And I also would like to thank Bülent Özcan for his support and cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, Turkey and the EU are both partners and allies. Turkey has been targeting the EU membership for almost 60 years. We have managed a lot in economic integration. As the business, it is our duty to add more topics in our long-standing partnership. I think it is so valuable to have women entrepreneurship as an area of joint work. This conference will allow us to share best practices in women entrepreneurship development. The president of the TOBB Women Entrepreneurs Council, Ms. Nurten Öztürk, will share some of our best practices and our organization. She is one of the most successful women entrepreneurs in Turkey and founder of a leading and respected company. She has also successfully implemented many social responsibility projects, generating ideas in every field from education to culture. Dear participants, Let me briefly share our story within TOBB. Our story of women entrepreneurship within Turkish Chambers system goes back to 2005. At that time, we took women and empowerment from business point of view among the priorities of TOBB and Chamber Network. We wanted to make sure that we will develop women entrepreneurship. We also wanted to address the issue of lack of women in the decision-making of the corporate world. We also wanted to give priority to the women participation in the labor market. With this vision, we started to develop councils dealing with developing women entrepreneurship. At the beginning, it was a top-down approach. First, we formed the Women Entrepreneurs Council within TOBB. That was followed with spreading this movement to our chamber network. In 2007, we had completed all structures in 81 provinces. So we had local women entrepreneurs councils in every state. Then in 2007, we had the first general meeting of women entrepreneurs councils with around 1,000 delegates. Over the time, Women Entrepreneurs Council have become a structural part of our chamber network. The number of women in these councils has reached around 7,000, and it became the largest business network in Turkey and in the world. As our vision, we wanted to identify the successful women entrepreneurs and present them as role models for young generation. We have supported mentorship programs in women entrepreneurship. We have partnered with big local and leading multinational companies in providing support to the women entrepreneurships. Over the past, we have witnessed the positive impacts of our work. First, the share of women entrepreneurs in our economy has doubled. At the same time, the number of women entrepreneurs in the decision-making of the chamber system has tremendously increased. During the conference, we will be able to see some best practices of our chambers system. And of course, we will be delighted to listen best practices of local chambers from the EU member countries. I have to underline that today and during the conference, we have participants from 27 different countries. Thank you very much for attending this event. Thank you very much for being a speaker and sharing your views with us. I wish you success.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And our next speaker in line is Ms. Nurten Öztürk, TOBB President of the Women Entrepreneurs Council. And Nurten Hanım.
Teşekkür ederim. Katılımcılar, sizlere şahsım ve
Thank you very much, distinguished participants. I would like to begin by conveying my best regards to all of you on behalf of myself, my council, and the TOBB. The Turkey-EU Dialogue, Business Dialogue Project is conducting this event, and it is our pleasure to be here among yourselves. Unfortunately, after all of the support that we have given to women entrepreneurship, we still don't have the levels that we strive for. We are working to provide women and men with equal pay. And according to reports, with the recent progress level, we need 257 more years to be able to achieve the targets that we are aiming for. Research also says that women are actually successful in any area that they work in. They provide positive support and intervention. Therefore, supporting women entrepreneurship is a priority for a lot of governments. In addition to private sector and civil society, we all have significant responsibilities we need to react to in this regard. Women are subject to discrimination, not just in the labor market, but in their own private lives as well. When women are provided with equal opportunities, there is nothing that they cannot overcome. A women's touch to a job is actually something that creates a difference and increases effectiveness and efficiency. The European Humanitarian Development Report, women are doing 66% of the work that is being conducted in the world, but are only receiving 10% of the income. That percent increases among countries. I think as TOBB, one of our very important objectives and missions is to increase women's participation to labor markets and to provide women to be more successful in the future of our country. Women's access to finance, protection of existing women entrepreneurship, developing them, cooperating with universities are topics that we are now focusing on in terms of our mission. We all know that birds cannot fly with a single wing, and therefore we need the world to become equal for both genders so that we can strive to become a much better world. I hope that the women's network will be able to develop between the two sides in the EU and Turkey. Thank you very much for all your support.
President Nurten Öztürk. And now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Bülent Özcan, Directorate for EU Affairs, Directorate.
Dear Mr. President, Rıfat Hisarcıklıoğlu, dear Nurten Öztürk, dear representative of EUROCHAMBERS, and dear participants, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of my institution, Minister of Foreign Affairs, EU Directorate. As EU Directorate, we are always very supportive of the projects in the field of women entrepreneurships, and this is a very, very fundamental subject for us that could be supported by EU funding programs. So today also, we now gathered with a project which is implemented together with TOBB and EUROCHAMBERS. As all you know, Turkey-EU Business Dialogue Project, which is funded under IPA. This is one of the long-lasting projects. It is already implemented under EU funding programs, which has a story of nearly 20 years. So when I started my professional experience as assistant expert, I was one of the person who's dealing with this project and start of this project at the beginning of 2000 years. So within this 20 years period of time, I recognize the implementation of all the segments of project. It was started as first Turkish Chambers Development Program. Then after that, it becomes EU-Turkish Chambers Forum. Now it becomes the latest version as EU-Turkey Business Dialogue. So this is a very useful and very, let me say, successful project. And of course, I would like to thank on behalf of my institution to TOBB and EUROCHAMBERS with that structure of a successful project implementation. Of course, today is a great event for all of us. EUROCHAMBERS Women Entrepreneurs Network and Turkish Women Entrepreneurs Council, their representatives and very different people from all over the world attended to this event. And it is a great event for entrepreneurs to provide a forum to interact together. It is an opportunity for women entrepreneurs to come together with policymakers, international financial institutions, chambers in Turkey, and of course, a very good opportunity to discuss about the support programs in Turkey and EU on women entrepreneurship, to understand about sources of funding, again, in Turkey and EU, and of course, sharing experiences by learning, by doing issues, and of course, to understand more about the role and activities of the chambers in women entrepreneur issues. So this is very important for all of us, and very important event. Thanks for the organization of all these events. Of course, EU funding in our EU process is always very important and very keen on to women entrepreneurship issue. And as Marta mentioned, you know, within this project, within the surveys to the women entrepreneurship, there is 3 important outcomes and recommendation is already discussed, and results is already gathered within the surveys within this project. First one is the main problem, one of the main problem of the women entrepreneurs in Turkey, not only Turkey, of course, but also Europe, is access to finance. The second one is this reconciliation of the women entrepreneurship on their traditional role in family and also the new role in business world. So how it can be done. And of course, at this stage, this capacity building of women entrepreneurship is one of the questions and one of the results that we have to discuss. And second one is to improve, to increasing the leadership position of the women entrepreneurship, not only in chambers, but of course, all over the business world. So this is also one of the results that we reach from the surveys, as Marta mentioned, and also Mr. President Rıfat Sarcıklıoğlu mentioned. So considering these 3 results, 3 issues, of course, EU funding is always a good opportunity for all kind of projects that will be focused on these results, these outcomes. First, access to finance. Of course, when we are looking at to access to finance, EU fund in Turkey is of course a kind of a good platform to provide financial opportunities to women entrepreneurship. So when we're looking at the structure of EU funding in Turkey, the first, the program of IPA, Instrument for Accession, is of course one of our instruments, one of our opportunity, one of our services that we can provide opportunities to access to finance. Within this program, we have different priority areas within different sectors, and these sectors, some of them is 100% related to supporting women entrepreneurship. The first one is, of course, innovation, technology, and improving the business capacity in Turkey. And this program we call this competitiveness and innovation program. And under the program of IPA, competitiveness and innovation, there are good opportunities, especially to chambers, including TOBB, to providing different project ideas covering access to finance instruments inside. So now we are entering a new program on IPA, and we are in the third period. We will be in the third period of IPA. It will cover 2021 and 2027, and it is a very good opportunity to all of us to discuss more about it. So as Directorate for AFS, we are always open to discuss more with TOBB, Women Entrepreneurship Council, more project opportunities, project ideas on women entrepreneurship, especially on access to finance. And we would like to design new project proposals to support women entrepreneurship access program, access to finance program within IPA. So this is very important for us. Secondly, the capacity building of women entrepreneurship. So provide them opportunities to exchange of experiences, to increase their dialogue with their counterparts in Europe and all over the world, to provide them information, knowledge, training with different instruments. So this is also very important. So again, EU funding instruments is very, very good opportunity for that. So when we are looking at the program of Erasmus+, which was implemented to 2014 and 20, now it becomes a new program called Erasmus, and it will have a project budget more than 20 billion euro, which covers all of the EU countries, and chambers and women entrepreneurship chambers can directly benefit these programs to have established consortium with their counterparts in the EU countries. So they can design capacity building projects, vocational training, professional training programs, exchange programs, dialogue programs within this program. But of course, not only the Erasmus, but also we have another important opportunity under IPA in the civil sector program. So under the civil sector, again, there are different grant programs that women entrepreneur councils can benefit and to have different budget opportunities, financial opportunities, this program. So again, as I mentioned, the new period among us, the new financial period covering 21 and 27 will, of course, very, very important. And one last issue, of course, especially to startups, to the women entrepreneurs themselves. So within this, when we are looking at within this perspective, the Horizon program, which will be implemented in the next coming year as Horizon Europe, again, a very important platform for women entrepreneurs for themselves. Because within this program, there are entrepreneurship projects covered the Horizon program, which will provide direct finance opportunities to the research and development program of women entrepreneurs. This is very important. Accelerated programs, again, this is good opportunities for chambers to establish platform for supporting accelerating programs, incubation centers, and these kinds of platforms for them to directly support the women entrepreneurship. So when we are looking at, as I mentioned, now we are in a transition period. A current period is already finalizing, which covers 2024, 14 and 2020. And now a new period covering 21 and 27 will be entered. And in this program, on the one side, IPA, on the other side, the community programs like Erasmus+, like COSME, like Horizon program, provides lots of opportunities to not only the chambers, also the women entrepreneur councils in the chambers, but also women entrepreneurs themselves can benefit to them. But as the Directorate for FOS, we are ready to work with TOBB, Women Entrepreneurship Councils together to provide innovative and new comprehensive projects that could be financed within these financial years. So from our point of view, again, as I mentioned, for the beginning of this forum, this is a very great opportunity for the participants to understand more about funding opportunities, to capacity building programs, to exchange programs, which they can benefit by learning their experiences. That is very important. And I'm sure after these programs, there will be a lot of questions in their hands that what can we do more, how we can do more. So EU funding is always a good option. And we are in a very good period to have a new start with different EU projects. So as Director for FAS, we are ready to work with all the ecosystem of women entrepreneurship in Turkey and EU. So thank you so much for inviting us and to give information about how we are working on the women entrepreneurship issues on the EU funding side. I hope it helps to the participant, but as I mentioned, we are always ready to answer their questions, not only today, but of course after today. So I wish a fruitful 2 days after today and good program to all the participants. And I would like to thank TOBB team and the EUROCHAMBERS team with this valuable event. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your contribution and support in general at all. And we can go ahead and take some time for questions now. I cannot see any question in the chat box, but please feel free to ask your questions. We have valuable speakers here together with us, and We have one from Fatma Temel. During pandemic period, which program is so important for women entrepreneurs and how do we apply?
Who is going to answer? Okay, Bülent.
Fatma Temel.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for the question. Well, considering this, of course, the negative effect of pandemic, this is a very important development to all over the world. But at the other side, it provides also some opportunities. For instance, today we have an online opportunity, and all the different people from Europe and Turkey come together and discuss in this online platform. So as all the funding from the EU funds, let me say, there are also some new programs announced within this pandemic process. One of them is, of course, for instance, on the September, a new call was announced from the European Commission, called as within the Horizon 2020 program, the Green Deal Support Program. So the Green Deal program, which is a research and development program, it was also in parallel with one of the leading policies of the new Commission and new management on the EU side. This is a €1 billion grant program, which covers 20 different headings, proposals, stemming from transportation to climate change, from let's say agriculture to energy efficiency. It covers with very different sectors and very different, let me say, grant opportunities inside. So this is also, for instance, now a good program that women entrepreneurship can benefit if they have project ideas about innovation and competitiveness, let me say, in their field. So, for instance, let me provide you the link of this program that you can understand more. This is one, for instance. Again, a new call is on climate change. This is, again, a very important issue in Turkey. So you can also benefit this program, which is implemented, let me say, by Ministry of Environment in Turkey. So this provide, of course, not directly to the entrepreneurs, but NGOs, chambers can benefit this program. So this is a grant program to chambers, for instance, and they can provide trainings, capacity building programs, the women entrepreneurs in the climate change and environment sector. So this is a good platform for the chambers. Let me say, I will provide you the link again in a couple of minutes. So this is also a good platform. And in a couple of weeks, the Erasmus program will be announced again, as I said, and the application of these programs will be in the first quarter of next year. So again, this is a good platform and good opportunity for the women entrepreneurs to be participate in the, let's say, in the next couple of weeks. So this is, as I said, the ones that you can participate and benefit at this stage.
Thank you very much. And after your explanation, we have started to receive more questions about the programs. And now Lina Talsampasiki, I'm sorry for the wrong pronunciation, but she's asking, Green Deal calls are very restricted and cannot assist women of all levels. Neither Horizon is easy for SMEs. Is there anything that applies on a wider range for women? Thank you for the link. Bülent Bey, would you like to provide more information about that?
I very recognize, I very know that it is not so easy, especially to participate in the Horizon programs. That's right, at the one side. But on the Horizon program, don't forget, it is a huge program covering with different subjects, let me say. There are some projects which need large-scale consortium, big companies, which have capacities. This is something, of course, very important. But on the other side, there are some special programs, some accelerated programs, SME finance programs under Horizon, which is directly and let me say very related to the women entrepreneurs themselves. I just shared with you one of the calls on the last summer on the SME accelerated program under Horizon. So these programs will continue. So please don't have a more detail, have a much more closely detailed look to details of the Horizon program, especially on the SME programs and accelerators, and you can find more. Yes, it is not so easy, but of course it could be a good start to be part of.
And thank you very much. Actually, most of the people are asking, where should we start? And there are some questions, and I would like to read one question from Brussels of Sezen Tekin Öztekinç. I was going to ask a question about Green Deal, which Mr. Özcan has just mentioned. If as a woman entrepreneur, I have a project idea which can contribute to transitioning to a low carbon economy, whom should I reach out to first? And are there any agencies in Turkey specialized in EU funds for EU Green Deal projects?
Well, of course, especially constructive Green Deal calls in Turkey, TÜBİTAK is the coordination institution. So any kind of entrepreneur, any kind of company, any kind of chamber who would like to be part of the projects, first, it is very good to contact with TÜBİTAK to discuss, especially over their national contact points, who has roles over there. So your first start point should be to be discussed and to be contact with TÜBİTAK and to understand more about the content of the calls. So this is the first, let me say, way of start to the calls under Green Deal of Horizon 2020. So this is the first. Secondly, of course, in the announcements of the European Commission on Green Deals, in each part of the call for proposals, there are there are also parts which is for the potential, let me say, applicants. So there is a partner search part in each calls. So in the partnership parts, you can see which, let me say, potential applicants from the EU countries looking for partners or any kind of consortium leaders representing that consortium and looking for partners. So you can search for these partnership forums, and in these partnership forums, you can understand more and you can find partners, let me say, with different EU countries. Or if you have a project idea, you can put a summary of your project and you can ask for partners from different EU countries. So this is also a good tool. And thirdly, within this Horizon ecosystem, in different EU countries, there are some project markets, let me say, project platforms can be organized, and within these project markets, different, let me say, project potential beneficiaries can participate in these events, and you can, by this way, find partners from EU countries, or you can discuss your project idea in these project markets. So you can search if any kind of project markets within this calls organized within the European Commission or responsible institutions, EU countries. So it could be an opportunity for you.
Thank you very much. Actually, after all those explanations, Bülent Bey, women entrepreneurs started to ask a folder for specifically related to women entrepreneurs. And actually, I would like to direct one more question related to you, and it is in Turkish, but merhaba, pandemi sürecinde birlikte birçok vasıflı donanımlı kadın.
Hello. During the pandemic, a lot of very qualified women have been unemployed, including me. Do you think there can be a project call for these kind of women to do something, and what could be done to maybe create that kind of call? What do you think is the question?
Yine ben bir cevap vereyim. Soru
Shall
bana
I
geldi.
respond? Shall I respond? I think I should. Okay, I'll respond in Turkish if possible. Yes, interpretation is going on. As I mentioned, the IPA programs have priorities, and one of them is social policies, and that includes unemployment. And there are projects that are meant to reduce unemployment. Our Ministry of Family and Social Policies is resuming this responsibility at the moment as a contracting authority, but they are cooperating with multiple parties like the TOBB and other stakeholders. Yes, of course, we can look into a project that would target to increase quality employment for women. Of course, the details of this kind of project that needs to be looked into, or civil society organizations that are working on this topic, or chambers that are interested in this topic can actually come up with pilot implementations, and they can follow up on grant programs that would be suitable to benefit from. We are working to develop further grant programs, by the way. Probably next year in 2021, there will be new grant programs, and I think it could be important to follow up on those.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ozan. Still, we have been receiving many questions related to like funds and Green Deal, but I don't want to take your time a lot. And you gave brief, you provide many information about the programs, but we may organize something as specific on this topic, and we can discuss further. And it looks like we had a few questions more, but on the other hand, we have covered actually all of these questions. Thank you again to Mr. Özcan. And I would like to thank you for joining us for the opening session of TEBD Women Entrepreneurs Online Forum. And before closing, actually, as you know, and as you saw in the program, actually, Ambassador, Head of EU Delegation to Turkey, Mr. Nikolaus Meyer-Landrut, would be with us, but unfortunately, he had a technical problem, and then he had limited time, and he couldn't join us. And unfortunately, Marta Schulz, TOBB EUROCHAMBRES Women Entrepreneurs Network President, had another meeting, and she had to leave earlier. Sorry for not staying until the end of the program. And actually, in addition to today's opening session, our forum will continue with 4 engaging and interactive thematic sessions with high-level speakers. And tomorrow, the topics will be on women entrepreneur support programs in the EU and Turkey, private and public sources of funding in the EU and Turkey, And on Wednesday, we will have sessions of learning by doing inspiring practices of women entrepreneurs, where you will hear more about the stories, experiences, and challenges of women entrepreneurs from biotechnology, manufacturing, high-tech, and energy sectors. Our last session will be on Wednesday afternoon and on the roles and activities of European and Turkish Chambers in women entrepreneurship. So don't miss these interactive, interesting sessions. And thanks again for joining us today, and hope to see you tomorrow at 1:30 in Central Europe time, 3:30 in Turkey time. Thank you very much for your participation to our forum. And this webinar, a recorded version of the webinar will be available in our TBD website and our YouTube accounts. So please visit our social accounts. Thank you very much, and hope to see you.
Before leave, may I also make a suggestion as today's outcome? Because we know access to finance is very important, and of course, when we are always talking with in an event with entrepreneurship, the main question is always on funding. So how we can find fundings, especially nowadays, this is very important on the negative effect of pandemic on economy. So maybe we can, of course, make a proposal to you. There is a special, let me say, part in this event also of funding to women entrepreneurships, but it is a general one. So it covers World Bank, EF, many different EU, international institutions. So what I suggest to you is maybe we will have a separate event to women entrepreneurship in Turkey, together with TOBB Women Entrepreneurship Council, and we will invite the councils in all chambers, their members. So it will be a kind of a comprehensive event, and we can inform them about what kind of funding opportunities to women entrepreneurships, women entrepreneurship councils, and women entrepreneurships to themselves, under Horizon, under Erasmus, and under other programs. So we will give all details to them, including some maybe a project development, let me say, session. So it will be very, very beneficial to all of them. So we are open to support that kind of an event together with TOBB Women Entrepreneurship Council.
Thank you very much. Actually, it would be a great pleasure for us to initiate such a maybe a sessions of or series of sessions. So we would greatly appreciate to initiate and develop such a program as well. And maybe within the framework of TBD project, we may focus on this topic. And as you know, we have more than 60 SME workshops, and I'm sure that would be a really interesting topic for most of our chambers. So thank you for this suggestion. And we have started to receive really good feedback from our participants, and thank you very much for your time and being with us today, and see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.
you.